There is a strange feeling that comes with deciding to change your life. For a few days, everything feels possible. You wake up earlier. You make the plan. You imagine the person you're finally going to become. And for a moment, you don't feel like you're changing your life. You feel like you've already changed it. Then the excitement fades. The alarm rings, but getting up isn't exciting anymore. The workout feels repetitive. The book feels slow. The work feels harder than it did on Monday. But the feeling is gone. And that's when something strange happens. Instead of continuing, you start thinking about starting again. A new Monday, a new plan, a new routine, a clean slate. Because somehow, starting feels easier than continuing. But why? Researchers have actually observed part of this pattern. They call it the fresh start effect. We become more motivated to pursue goals around landmarks, like a new week, month, birthday, or year. A new beginning can make the past feel like a previous chapter, and the future feel like a clean one. And that feels good. But here's the problem. A fresh start gives you the emotional reward of possibility. You can imagine the result without having to live through the process. You haven't failed yet. You haven't become bored yet. You haven't discovered how long the road really is. You are still looking at the future version of yourself. And that version feels exciting. Continuing is different. Continuing asks you to do the same thing when there is no emotional reward for doing it. Nobody applauds the 5th workout. Nobody celebrates the 20th page. Nobody feels inspired by opening the same document for the 100th time. The beginning gives you a story. The middle gives you repetition. And repetition is where you discover whether you actually want the result, or only wanted the feeling of becoming someone new. This is why the restart can become so attractive. You miss a few days. You feel guilty. Then you make a new plan. And suddenly, the guilt becomes excitement again. This time I'll do it properly. You feel in control. You feel motivated, but nothing has changed. You return to the most emotionally rewarding part of the cycle, the beginning. Start, excitement, friction, miss a day, self-judgment, restart, excitement, and repeat. The dangerous part is that every restart looks like progress. You are planning, you are preparing, you are promising yourself something better. But preparation can become a comfortable substitute for persistence. A clean beginning also lets you avoid confronting the fact that the old plan became difficult. You can simply create a new one. And this is where motivation and commitment separate. Motivation asks, "Do I feel like doing this?" Commitment asks, "What do I do because I already decided?" One depends on emotion. The other survives the loss of emotion. And real change often begins at exactly the moment when motivation stops being interesting. Think about anyone who has built something difficult. There was a point when the work stopped feeling new. The early excitement disappeared. Progress became difficult to see. Encouragement disappeared. At that point, there was no dramatic transformation happening. There was only another ordinary day. And they continued. That's the part we rarely celebrate. Not the beginning, not the breakthrough, the ordinary day in between. Because transformation is often invisible while it's happening. You don't become stronger every time you feel strong. Sometimes you become stronger by keeping the promise on a day when you feel nothing. So the next time you break a routine, don't immediately ask, "How do I start again?" Ask something different. How do I continue from here? That question changes everything. If you missed 3 workouts, the answer isn't to design the perfect new fitness plan. The answer is, continue the workout. If you stopped reading, don't wait for Monday. Open the book. If you abandoned a project, don't turn the interruption into proof that you are inconsistent. Return to the work. You don't need another day 1. You need to stop treating interruption as an ending. And maybe that's the part nobody tells you about becoming disciplined. It doesn't always feel like progress. Sometimes it feels boring. Sometimes it feels disappointing. Sometimes it feels like you're doing the same small thing while nothing is changing. But those small, unremarkable moments are exactly where identity is built. Every time you continue after the excitement disappears, you teach yourself something, that you can trust yourself without needing to feel inspired. That one bad day doesn't erase the person you're becoming. That progress doesn't have to restart every time life interrupts it. So maybe the goal isn't to become someone who never falls off. Maybe the goal is to become someone who knows how to return, without turning the return into another beginning. Because the person you're trying to become isn't waiting for you at the start of another Monday. They're being built quietly, on the Tuesday when you don't feel like it, on the morning after you failed, on the day when starting again feels exciting, but continuing feels ordinary. Real change rarely looks like a new beginning. Sometimes, it looks like refusing to begin again and simply continuing from where you are.